Hello, everyone. Welcome back. A very happy new year to you all. I hope you had a fun holiday season celebrating with your family and your loved ones. And let's hope 2021 will be a much better year than 2020. Today's episode is about the phenomenon, or Rajesh Khanna. He was always known as the phenomenon. He was India's uber superstar. No one has ever been as lionized or idolized as he has been. He was adopted by his uncle and aunt when he was a very young child. He was born in Amritsar in 1942, December 29th. Nobody knows quite what happened and why he was adopted, but that is the story. He kept his private life quite private. He moved to Bombay, or rather his uncle and aunt moved to Bombay with him. They lived in Girgaon. They were a wealthy couple. He had a very pampered and very privileged lifestyle as a young child, as a young adult. And he was quite spoiled, actually, the stories say. His very first movie, as in the movie that he was offered first and was shot first, was Raz. It was released in 1967. He was co-starring with Babita. It was a double role suspense kind of a movie. But the actual official release as his first film was actually Aakhri Khat. Even though it was shot after Raz, it was released in 1966, a whole year before Raz. Aakhri Khat, it was a very interesting movie, a very different way of filming, quite a bold directorial venture, I should say. Chetan Anand, which pretty much explains it all, a man who thought out of the box a lot when it came to making his movies. The story is about, the main part of the story essentially is about a child who is lost in the streets of Bombay. What Chetan Saab did was quite revolutionary. He let loose this 15-month-old child on the streets of Bombay and he just followed him with a camera. The movie doesn't progress linearly. There's a lot of flashbacks and stuff to help flesh out the story. In the end, of course, the baby is reunited with his father, a very, very young 25-year-old Rajesh Khanna. He is still very good in this movie despite his lack of acting experience in films. There's a certain sincerity and a kind of an innocence, even though he's a little awkward in this movie. The music for this movie was by the very, very unusual Khayyam Saab and Kaifi Azmi's very beautiful lyrics. This song is picturized on Rajesh Khanna singing to his co-star Indrani Mukherjee. It's a very seductive, pleading song sung so beautifully by Mohammad Rafi. और कुछ देर ठहर और कुछ देर न जा
और कुछ देर ठहर और कुछ देर न जा और कुछ देर ठहर और कुछ देर न जा और कुछ देर ठहर रात बाकी है अभी रात में रस बाकी है पाके तुझको तुझे पाने की हवस बाकी है और कुछ देर ठहर और कुछ देर न जा और कुछ देर ठहर और कुछ देर न जा और कुछ देर ठहर जिस्म का रंग फजा में जब बिखर जाएगा मेहरबां हुस्न तेरा और निखर जाएगा लाख जालिम है जमाना मगर इतना भी नहीं तू जब बाहों में रहे वक्त ठहर जाएगा और और कुछ देर ठहर, और कुछ देर न जा, और कुछ देर ठहर, और कुछ देर न जा, और कुछ देर ठहर.
Rajesh Khanna was always interested in acting. Even as a child, he took part in school plays. This continued through college. Even after college, he would hang out essentially at local theatre groups. He also acted in several plays to much critical acclaim. He always wanted to be in movies, however. This opportunity was given to him in 1965. Here's what happened. G.P. Sippy, J. Om Prakash, Shakti Samanta, Chetan Anand, all these people got together and they formed a United Producers Guild. This guild, in conjunction with the Times of India group, came up with the Times of India United Producers Film Fair Talent Contest, which Rajesh Khanna took part in and won. Despite winning this contest, he was not flooded with roles, let's say. It took some time. G.P. Sippy finally came forward, signed him on for Raz. And shortly thereafter, Chetan Saab signed him on for Aakhri Khat. 1967 brought Nasir Hussain to his door with Baharon Ke Sapne. It was essentially through and through an Asha Parekh movie, but he has put in a good performance. It's about labor unions and the oppression of corporations on, their blue-collar workers and so on. Serious movie. Beautiful music by R.D. Burman. In 1969, finally, he signed on 3 movies, Do Raaste, Aradhana, and a very low-budget, quickly shot film called Ittefaq. Ittefaq was released before the other 2. It was shot in a month, processed and released. It was a songless movie. The main star of this movie was Nanda. But Rajesh Khanna acquitted himself so well, this movie was a super hit. After that, Aradhana and Do Raaste were released, again blockbuster hits. He never looked back. Aradhana, I think, even more than Do Raaste, made him the sweetheart of all the women. Oh, they were just... The paths were littered with women's broken hearts over Rajesh Khanna. The music in Aradhana, S.D. Burman, but, also R.D. Burman. S.D. Saab, when he started working on Aradhana, he fell ill after I think he composed 1 or 2 songs. What happened was this. His son took over and he composed this absolutely beautiful duet with Kishore Kumar and Lataji, Kora Kagaz Tha Ye Man Mera. And this was sort of the precursor to this hit team of Rajesh Khanna, Kishore Kumar and R.D. Burman. It's picturized on Rajesh Khanna and Sharbila Tagore. Lovely, lovely, lovely song. Anand Bakshi's lyrics.
कोरा कागज था ये मन मेरा 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 लिख लिया नाम इससे तेरा 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 कोरा कागज था ये मन मेरा लिख लिया नाम इससे तेरा
सूना आंगन था जीवन मेरा बस गया प्यार इसमें तेरा
सपने मैं डरता हूँ निस दिन सपनों में देखा करता हूँ सपने मैं डरता हूँ, इस दिन सपनों में देखा करता हूँ। नैना कजरारे मतवारे ये इशारे, खाली दर्पण था ये मन मेरा, रच गया रूप इसमें तेरा।
कोरा कागज था ये मन मेरा, लिख लिया नाम इसमें तेरा।
After Aradhana, he never looked back. Soared to the top, everything he touched was gold. He had nobody to challenge him in the hero department. Shami Kapoor was aging, Amitabh Bachchan hadn't hit his stride yet, and it was all Rajesh Khanna. He had it all. Good looks, acting talent, all his adaye, the head nod and the blinking of the eye and so on. Anyway, he was doing really well. He also had a very, very beautiful girlfriend, Anju Mahendru, who was a model and an actor. She came from a film background. Her grandfather was the owner of her studio. Her maternal uncle was Madan Mohan. Good pedigree there. They were best of friends before. They met way before he started movies, and they finally were romantically involved as well. Apparently, they had a very, very turbulent relationship, if the tabloids are to be believed. Things finally went beyond repair, and he very suddenly turned around and married a 16-year-old Dimple Kapadia in 1973, shocking the nation. I think women may even have committed suicide over this. I don't know, if papers are to be believed. Anyway, he had 17 back-to-back hits from 1965 to 1971. I think this feat has been unmatched in film history. The next song that I want to play for you is from a movie called Khamoshi. It was a female-centric movie. Wahida Rehman is basically the focus of this movie. But he has played a significant role and was very much appreciated critically. It was a hit movie. Music was outstanding, Hemanta's music. And Kishore Kumar has sung this song. It's a very somber song, but so beautifully sung. वो शाम कुछ अजीब थी, गुलजार साहब's lyrics.
वो शाम कुछ अजीब थी, ये शाम भी अजीब है। कल भी पास पास थी, वो आज भी करीब है। वो शाम कुछ अजीब थी, ये शाम भी अजीब है। वो कल भी पास पास थी, वो आज भी करीब है। वो शाम कुछ अजीब थी। झुकी हुई निगाह में कहीं मेरा ख्याल था। दबी दबी हंसी में एक हसीन सा गुलाल था। मैं सोचता था मेरा नाम गुनगुना रही है वो, सोचता था मेरा नाम गुनगुना रही है वो, न जाने क्यों लगा मुझे कि मुस्कुरा रही है वो शाम कुछ अजीब थी.
After 1971, Rajesh Khanna did not have that same kind of run of successes. He did have some successes, but not all of them. People credit Amitabh Bachchan with Rajesh Khanna's downfall. I don't think personally it's as simple as that. Rajesh Khanna did not reinvent himself. He did not take risks. He didn't change his attitude to acting. He didn't try to experiment with different kinds of roles. A very pampered man, I think he thought the world was his for taking. Anyway, he did produce some good movies later on in his career. I think all these sort of hits, if you might say, to his ego, they helped mature his thinking and his whole nature. He came up with some really fine movies. I know Anand, everybody raves about Anand. He was good in it. I do not deny that at all. But his other movies, Avishkar, fantastic, Ajnabi, Bawarchi, even Amar Prem. He was so good in these movies. Somehow people never seem to mention these when it comes to Rajesh Khanna's quality movies. The song I'm going to share is from Avishkar. This was an interesting movie. Very, very serious movie. It was a trilogy made by Basu Bhattacharya, one of a trilogy, experimenting and exploring marital relationships and the problems that you might have within a marriage. It was a very kind of a stark view of what can happen in a marriage. And both Sharmila Tagore and Rajesh Khanna are excellent. Rajesh Khanna has none of his nakhras and his adayes in this movie. He's just straight out there, very sensitively portraying this role that he basically just brought out the angst that is involved in trying to make a relationship work. Music was by Kanu Roy, lyrics by Kapil Kumar, and the song was sung by Manna Da so beautifully. हंसने की चाह ने कितना मुझे रुलाया है.
हंसने की चाह ने कितना मुझे रुलाया है. हंसने की चाह ने कितना मुझे रुलाया है. कोई हमदर्द नहीं, दर्द मेरा साया है. हंसने की चाह ने कितना मुझे रुलाया है. दिल तो उलझा ही रहा जिंदगी की बातों में. सांसें जलती हैं कभी कभी रातों में. दिल तो उलझा ही रहा जिंदगी की बातों में. सांसें जलती हैं कभी कभी रातों में. किसी की आह पर तारों को प्यार आया है. कोई हमदर्द नहीं, दर्द मेरा साया है. हंसने की चाह ने
कितना मुझे रुलाया है।
Arrogant, temper tantrums, very unmanageable. These were some of the adjectives given to Rajesh Khanna. His family and friends have a very different view of him. They say he was generous, very loving, would go out of his way to help people, and he was a very kind man. I guess very, very sensitive and excellent artists have extremes in their behavior. He had tried different things. His marriage fell apart after a few years. He separated from his wife in 84. He had a brief relationship with Tina Munim. He forayed into politics in the 90s, didn't make much of a mark there either. He continued to act until 2010 in various minor roles. He did some ad films and so on. In June of 2011, he fell very, very sick and was diagnosed with cancer. And on July 18th of 2012, he finally succumbed to complications due to the illness, and he passed away surrounded by his family and his friends. On that rather serious and sad note, I end today's episode. I hope you all will have a wonderful year, and in 2 weeks, I'll see you again. Until then, remember, music is food for the soul. Keep listening.